Welcome to Wine Chats with Billi and Lyndsey,
where we drink wine and chat life.
Yahoy, Lyndsey.
Are we on a ship? A yacht?
Wait, a yacht? We could be. I wonder what schooling on yachts is like.
Oh, like homeschooling? Like
a boat schooling. Ship schooling.
We're talking about schooling, education today. Yay. Woo! More like, because we're moms,
yes.
We've got 5 kids amongst us, just about like what it's like to go through that as a parent when your kids start to learn and grades and like, all the fun, unfiltered shit that's going to come out of our mouths.
Yes.
With the help of that, we're drinking today. Hello.
I won't sing again. Hello.
I was expecting you to like Halo. I was thinking you're going to break out with like Halo,
Halo.
Yeah, that one. So we haven't tried this one yet. This is a pink grapefruit and mango.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not a fan of mango, but I love grapefruit.
I'm not a fan of grapefruit, but I love mango.
This was made for us.
Can you just give me your mango and I'll give you my grapefruit?
Possibly not. It is a botanical spirit. It's a low alcohol, small batch distilled alcohol. Now, this is our third flavor that we've tried. I've liked.
Have we already tried both of them? The other two? Yeah.
We have.
Oh,
I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Maybe I'll plunk her right in the middle.
Good idea.
Go and check them out. We highly enjoy the ones that we've tried so far.
Totally.
So this is with a lime mineral water because that was the only one I had, sparkling water. But I figure lime and grapefruit.
Totally, and all of it, yes.
Citrus.
Yeah.
Mango with the lime juice on top.
That's really nice.
Just tastes like sparkling water.
Yeah, but like flavored sparkling water.
Like in a good way.
Refreshing, totally. Yeah. Because I feel like the one time we tried it, it was straight. That was a lot of, it's straight alcohol.
That was because I had no mixer, like amateur. Quite lovely.
This is really nice. And it's only 12% alcohol. I don't know if you said that.
I did not say any facts about it except the name. Is it only 12%?
I think it's only 12%. So it's this like beautiful summer drink that we drink in winter.
You're wrong. It is only 10%.
Close. Come on. It's not 40% is what I'm trying to say.
It's not. Yeah. So it's perfect. Yeah. It's much lighter than most.
Yeah.
Oh, we only have 3 months to consume it, Billy, once it's opened.
Just going to have to do that.
Just spat. That was so bad. Like your comment. Speaking about bad, I had bad grades growing up. What about you?
Straight A student over here, which is why I've gotten so far in life.
Hey!
For both of us. You're pretty. What's my excuse? No, same. I was such a I got by.
Yeah.
I got by.
Yeah.
I was like BC student.
Oh, at least you had a B.
I did have Bs. Like I wasn't totally in the trenches.
Smarty pants.
Yeah. I may have gotten like A's occasionally in like PE maybe, but probably not even then.
I was going to say.
Not even then.
It's actually quite hard to get an A in PE. My son, my eldest, is, I don't want to say quite athletic, but he loves sports. He's athletic.
Yeah,
he's athletic. And he sometimes doesn't even get an A in gym. I call it gym PE, whatever.
Jesus.
Because like it's actually quite hard.
Well, I guess they're grading you on the things that they're teaching you, right? So if depends on what sport they're doing or whatever. So yeah. Okay, I take my A back. Okay, I probably didn't get any A's.
I never got A's.
I've probably gotten A's, like a handful of them. I remember getting my an F once.
Yes.
And this was in like when I was like in Serbia. So you can only imagine like how badly you have to do to get a fucking F.
I don't know. Tell us.
Oh, well, actually, no. School over there is a lot harder, I think. Like it's very it was very strict, very like you had to stand up, and answer the teacher. Like, so the whole class is sitting and then like they'll be like, okay, Biljana, what's 5 times 6? And you have to stand up and be like, fucking.
And you give your answer.
Yes, which I believe is 30. And if you don't get it right, I don't know what happens to you. It probably whipped you or something. But you couldn't count on your fingers. Yeah. Like it was all very like Soviet Union type studying.
I can imagine.
Right? Yeah. So then by the time I got to New Zealand, I'm like, oh, we're learning about SPF 15 bottles. Like what the fuck is this shit? Like we were literally, I remember sitting in New Zealand in primary school and he drew a bottle with SPF 15 on it and it was sunscreen. And he was like, what is this, kids? And all the kids were like looking around and I'm like, is it? Like
Okay.
sunscreen? And he was like, yes, well done. And I'm like, oh my fucking God.
You get an A.
Oh, right? Yeah, like I went from this like sort of dictatorship learning to like this like, oh, la la la, let's go right, you know, draw butterflies and shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I still didn't do very well.
But you know what SPF 15 bottle looks like.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I now know what an SPF 50 bottle looks like. Taught me so much. Anyway, that was a really lame story. But the point is, like the learning when I was little was, I went through different systems. Okay. It was somewhat harder, somewhat easier. But this shit that's happening now with our kids, it's hard. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing with them. It's a totally different system.
Well, look, I don't know comparatively to other systems because I've never had kids in other systems. And I don't remember as a kid being in a system. Right. I just remember going through school. I was at school more to socialize than to academically excel. And my mom knew that. She was like, as long as you pass and you're not a shithead in class, like you have to be respectful. You have to use your manners. You have to be a nice, kind person.
Yes.
But we had this understanding. I was just going to get, as long as I passed. So I was a C student. Which fine. I went to college for 2 whole years and graduated with a diploma.
Oh God, I started 3 different degrees here and I never finished one. I don't even know. I can't remember the third thing I started.
I was just going to ask you, pop quiz. Like seriously, what were they? Photography? Makeup?
Photography? No, makeup was a course. Oh, that wasn't like uni.
Take that back. Okay.
So photography, early education, because I wanted to be a teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, primary school teacher. I literally do not remember what the third thing is.
You could have changed that. You could have had an impact on the system that you don't like right now.
No, you couldn't have. I see what teachers are going through now and they cannot impact on the system.
No, but within your classroom, you could do it.
Oh, totally. And actually, again, explains why when I was a teacher aide, like I loved it. Like I actually like truly loved being around kids.
Yeah.
But
I do not.
I do. I really do. Like they're just like little people and they just want to hang. They want a little bit of your attention. They need a bit of love, like a hug, a bit of help with their maths.
But the problem is if you get a bad class or some you can't hit them. You can't swear at them. Like I would be fired in a heartbeat.
Don't leave bruises, Lyndsey.
You'd be fired too.
And yet I wasn't. 3 years I lasted.
I know, but you didn't have your contract renewed. So
that's true. It's true. I was fired eventually.
Don't know about that one. But okay, so back to your comment about the kids.
Yes.
Like learning. Well, maybe you didn't say that, but the system. What they're learning. Okay, can I just say?
Yes, please.
So my eldest is in grade 6. All 3 of my kids are math. They're very comfortable with math. They do well in math. Yep. They did not get that from me. Absolutely not even one fraction.
Because what's Cameron? Like an engineer? No. He draws things. He brings lots of big books with drawings in them and he knows how to read them.
That's an inside joke. Yeah. Well, he went to construction management, but he's an operations manager for a state, for a commercial development company.
He builds buildings.
He doesn't build them. He oversees the build. Yeah. So in layman's terms, he oversees the building of multi-million-dollar buildings.
Sure.
There's a lot of math. There's a lot of numbers.
Yeah. Yes.
His brain, I call him a human calculator. Like he's just very, very smart.
Not anybody could do that. You literally have to to go through school to even learn that shit, let alone then be successful at doing it is like, you have to have that type of brain.
You have to.
You just have to. You can't, like I couldn't learn that shit. I wouldn't want to.
You and I would not.
No.
At all, even past like the first semester. Like there's no way. Yeah. So thankfully all 3 of my children have their dad's math brains. But so back to Bane, my eldest, he's in grade 6. I tapped out of his math. Your eldest is in grade 4.
Grade 4, yeah.
I tapped out of his math in grade 4. His grade 6 math, there is no way.
Yep.
No way. Even sometimes Cameron will be reading the questions out and I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like how?
100%.
Were we actually learning that back in our day?
I honestly don't remember. And plus, like, they seem so little to me. Like, this is still primary school, you guys. Yeah. Like, Eve is asking me, so she's in grade 4, and she asked me for help with the maths problem just the other day. And I sat down with her and I was like, Eve, I don't even understand the question. I don't understand what you're actually asking me.
Yeah.
What is a compounded fraction with a, I don't even remember the terms. I honestly did not even understand the terminology to be able to understand what the question is asking. I had to ask ChatGPT.
I was just waiting for a pause. Hey, Chat GPT, what does compound fraction?
100,000%. Like literally, I had to like try just to actually understand what is even being asked of her. Totally. And so what her teachers already said to her was basically like, look, you don't have to do this at home with your parents. Like if you don't understand, we'll work it out in class. Like you come and talk to me about it and we'll do that. 100%. So she actually has done that. And because she said it's the same teacher for 2 years in a row, like I really haven't had to do a lot of homework help with her. But Eva's also academically minded.
Yeah.
My little one is not academically minded. She's one of us.
Yeah.
And so when like, I feel like she had a real like struggle time in grade 1 and she's grade 2 now. She's come good somewhat, but she's like, there was so much, I feel like there's so much pressure on the little ones these days too. I don't remember what it was like. Again, I was talking about sunscreen bottles when I was in that grade, okay? I don't understand what they're doing with these little kids nowadays. It just seems so much. It seems so pressured. And some kids are obviously going through it like with flying colors, no dramas. Like my eldest was like, no problems. She just sort of flew through it. But my little one is just like struggling hardcore. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like she just wants to play. She just wants to go and be free.
Yeah.
These people are making her do stuff. And I feel her because I'm the same. I'm like, just like let her go and fucking run or something, you know, like let the kid go and do her skip bar on her monkey bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we pressuring our poor kids?
I don't know if it's pressure. I'm going to like go a different route. I don't think it's pressure. I mean, if you and
Well, it depends on
Henry,
the kid, I suppose. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from the parents too.
Yeah.
Like if you and Henry were wanting her to be a straight A student and
Well, I mean, that would be nice, but
would it?
Exactly.
Maybe.
What's the point, right? Like
look, I think it depends. Okay, a lot of people will get at me for this. Probably because I was a C student. I think as long as they're turning into well-adjusted human beings and learning, they can't be failing. They can't be fuckwits. They can't be cheating.
Yes.
They have to be trying.
Yes.
I really don't see that being an issue because 9 times out of 10, those people, and again, I'm speaking because I was one of them, they're not going to become the Cameron Kirkwoods of the world. They're not going to want to go to university where top freaking marks matter, where they need straight A's, right? So like, yes, every parent gets proud of their child when they get an A or do well at school or does well. See, I don't know. Did I get a C or D?
You do good. You do good, child.
But you know what I mean? Like I think
totally, yeah.
I think as a parent adding pressure to your kids. So my point was like, so May's struggling. Okay. So she's not a straight A student. I don't think necessarily the system's putting pressure on her, but if you and Henry were to be putting pressure on her, that's different.
And I think we did initially because I was like, well, I need you to do good. Like I need you to do well. And I think like after we went through that whole thing last year, I think it was the pressure also of like, I felt a certain pressure from the school, not necessarily like they were like, she needs to be doing this and that. But I think the way that it was coming out was like, oh, well, she's just failing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, is she failing? I don't know. Like this is fucking grade 1. Like, I don't know. She's 6 years old.
But they can fail.
And they can fail. And that's 100%. The thing that I'm like, well, what the fuck kind of system is this that like, I don't know, that makes these kids perform for these marks? And like, what's the point? Like maybe some kids just aren't ready. And like I saw in my own children, like Eve, who was like totally flourished and had no dramas, didn't even think twice about any of it. And now I see this other kid who's just a totally different kid in a system that just she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She just wants to play. You know what I mean? So it's like they're just different. I don't know. Like it's a system that's created for a certain type of people, like the Cameron Kirkwoods of the world, who are like going to sit like that and learn like that and do that and be interested in that. And then there's these other kids that just want to go and fucking dig huts and learn about animals. You know what I'm saying? That's the school I want to go to. That's the school I should have gone to. Although I didn't want to dig huts either. I wasn't interested in any of that. I was trying to read and write in my diary and be like,
that's learning. You're reading and writing. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyway.
That's perfect. You should be well educated in those areas.
And Billi. I'm not. Okay, let us go to a break. And then when we come back, I just chat GPT stuff, okay? Jesus.
What else is there to do?
Yes, stuff. Bye. Okay, so when did kids start school around the world? Just curious, because I started, this is the other thing, when I was in Serbia, we started school at 7.
Okay.
So that's a little bit later, obviously, than what we start here. Here it's 6 in grade 1, so we start a year later. Okay. Because
Yeah, but you technically start when you're in prep, not in grade 1.
I don't think our prep would have been. No, I don't think there was a prep. I feel like I just went straight into grade 1. And
No, but here.
Oh, here. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
of course. Yeah. So here, but like you could be a preppy at 4 years old.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy.
I was just correcting you because you said something so stupid because you didn't pay attention in school. So
No,
we,
Not at all. I don't even know what I said.
because you said that, you started a few years before than Serbia because some kids, like what you just said,
Yeah.
can start at 4 years old here. But in Serbia, you said you start at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more than just 1 year difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just meant grade 1 here is 6 and then grade 1 over there is 7.
Right. Oh, okay. Gotcha. My bad. I need to pay attention more in class.
didn't pay attention.
Sorry, Mrs. Dew. Continue on.
Jesus.
I'm going to listen very
Okay.
closely and not stare at the window and not pay attention to you.
Like I normally do. It's like Lindsay's talking, but in my head it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I join back in and I'm like, what? What are we talking about? Didn't you just say that? Yeah. Okay, so Australia, kids usually start primary school 5 or 6. Canada, kindergarten and 4 or 5, so same. And then schooling begins at 6, so same as here. France, they start super early.
Oh.
So nursery school is as early as 3, which is like normally, but school becomes compulsory at age 3. Like, you know how here it's like daycare, so you can either stay at home or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say nursery school for me was like daycare.
Yes,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think that's
okay.
compulsory in France from 3.
Oh, okay.
What have you got to show for it, France? I want to know. Germans, same as most people. Now, Finland is known for its progressive system. Finnish kids don't start formal school until the age of 7. See, us Serbians and the Finnish, we're progressive people.
Yeah.
And they perform incredibly well globally. Their early childhood focuses on play and social skills. This is the system I want.
Yeah.
I just want to play until I'm about 6 or 7, 20, 22. Okay, the curriculum style and culture. So Australia and Canada have an emphasis on creativity and group work and critical thinking.
Well, that's good.
Right? But still relatively structured, especially as kids get older. So homework starts early and can get intense, as we've discovered.
Yes.
Europe wildly varies. Finland avoids homework in younger years and limits standardized testing.
Okay.
Scandinavia generally encourages free play and independence. I should just move to Scandinavia.
I was going to say, what we're getting out of this is that you're living in the wrong country.
Yes, I think so too. Australia versus Europe and Canada.
Oh.
Many expat parents notice the terminology and methods are totally different, which makes it hard to help kids with homework. Like, what is even a number bond? What is a number bond, Lindsay? Literally, and this
Where's
is like
my phone?
Right? And but like, you're right. Even the stuff that you would have learned in Canada.
What the fuck is that?
But even the stuff you would have learned in your school, and God knows what I've learned in my schooling over the years.
Yeah.
The terminology is different. So you literally wouldn't even know how to help them, even if you did know how to help them.
But you know
what?
what?
Wouldn't understand.
We don't need an educated life, Billy, because we have Fansly, and like somebody just messaged us. We're just about to make millions on Fansly.
We have feet is what we have.
We have feet. We have 4 between the two of us.
20 toes, baby. No,
2
times
times 2.
And the education system continues to let us down. Okay. Why parents struggle with homework today? Tell us, ChatGPT.
Because the work is so incredibly intense and crazy.
The language has also changed. So what we called long division now has 4 extra steps and a diagram.
Because I even asked Bane, I'm like, don't you have like that thingy?
Yes.
Like that thingy?
Yeah.
You know, like where's that?
Yes.
Like where is that? I don't know.
It's gone. Methods are different. So kids are taught
Okay.
how to think, not just what to do. That's great, but it means our old school logic doesn't always match. So they're not just learning things by heart like we're used to. It's like they're actually learning to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, curriculum variation.
Hurting my head.
Obviously, even between states in Australia or provinces in Canada, content and standards vary. So like everybody's doing their own thing. Okay. Fun fact.
Oh, fun.
In South Korea, the school day can run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then kids go to hagwons, which is private evening academies.
That's like in Japan as well. Apparently like schooling, like.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, what have you got to show for it, South Korea and Japan?
Well, Japan, there's a lot of very.
I'm sure they're very smart.
Yeah. South Korea, I don't know. But I feel like, okay, I'm going to say something really,
here we go. Yeah.
really like racist in a good way.
Okay.
Is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing. But like, I feel like a lot of Asians, and
Totally,
you're married to
yeah.
one, are very intelligent people. So maybe.
Yeah, they're very like savvy business and like they're just anything. Their education must be like.
I feel they're very book smart.
Yes. Yeah.
So like maybe that is because of their schooling.
It doesn't say
I don't
anything
know.
about China.
Okay.
But South Korea, and it does mention Japan in a second.
Yeah.
So the Netherlands has one of the shortest school days in the world, and the kids rank among the happiest globally.
Of course
need
they
to move
would.
to the Netherlands.
Of course. What's their school year or school day?
It doesn't say.
Well, that's stupid.
Hush now.
You gotta.
In Japan,
Yes.
children clean their classrooms and often bring their own lunches and bento boxes. Okay, well, we do that here. I put nuts in mine.
You can't take nuts to school.
We can.
I know.
We
I'm
can,
still
yeah.
baffled by your school.
No, we definitely can. Oh, same. Anyway, then I was like, well, like why? I was like, okay, but what type of education system works best for children and what would be the ideal age for learning? So play-based learning in the early years is best for ages 3 to 7. So found in Finland, Sweden and New Zealand, systems that consistently rank high in child well-being. So New Zealand as well, which is why I was so happy in New Zealand and knew so much stuff and knew nothing when I came to Australia.
Learning about the sunscreen bottles.
That's right. Okay. Child-centered flexible curriculum, blah, 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 low pressures. Don't worry about that. Then I was like, well, then I got angry because I was like, well, who the fuck even came up with the education system? Like what? Like why? What? Like literally when you think about it as a society.
I think it's called the Department of Education.
But why? For what purpose? Like what are we actually, do you know what I'm saying?
For the children to learn.
Learn what though and why?
Math and English. Because they're never going to use it in their lives.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like who came up with the system and like what's the purpose?
Yeah.
Because they're like why? And
Well,
then said,
English I get. But
yes,
math,
Billy, yes, with a fire emoji. See how much my ChatGPT validates me?
She's so on our side.
Okay. So who decided what our kids need to learn and why are we still doing this? Grab the wine. This could get spicy.
Oh,
drink.
I literally just grabbed my gin.
Okay, get spicy. Okay.
Oh.
Who invented school? School as we know it today was shaped by industrial era Europe in the 1800s, and especially in Prussia, which is modern day Germany. Okay. The goal was to train obedient workers for factories and future soldiers for the military. So it was to teach basic literacy, math, punctuality, and how to follow rules.
In the 1800s.
Yeah.
I find that very bizarre. I thought it would have been much earlier than that. I don't know why.
Yeah, like I think like the modern system that we have now, probably before that they were doing obviously something different.
Like-
but like, yeah,
I picture the cavemen in the cave, like
drawing
on the cave.
Well, they were drawing pictures of what eats you and what doesn't.
Right.
What you can eat and what eats you.
That's
probably,
education.
Right? But that's like education for the purpose of surviving. Like this is what I wanted to know now. Like we have this education, I understand, but like what's the purpose of it? Like what's the end game? Pause.
I don't know what that. I saw that go out a second ago. But I mean, I don't know how long before that it went out. I don't know. Are you serious? You're in charge of the camera. I have no idea.
I know because you were looking at it, we never actually pressed record, that's why it went out.
Well, we had the audio. Is this 2 back-to-back weeks, Bill?
Yeah, last week we lost chat.
Yes. This is a live of the behind the scenes of when shit goes wrong again.
Welcome to Wine Chats. We've just realized that we didn't record the first half of our episode at all.
I mean, audio-wise, we did.
Yeah, this week we have audio but no video. Last week we have nothing. We have no audio. We had video.
Now, we're talking about education, and math has been coming up a lot. And the common denominator in both of these.
And I was already feeling so terrible today. Look, we're getting to the juicy part, so you're just going to have to join in for whatever you see at the end here.
Our listening folks are fine.
Oh, they're fine.
They get all the good stuff.
Okay, so we've just discovered that who went to school was modern day Germany.
Fuck Germany. We don't care about Germany.
Who decides what kids learn today? Maybe this will, cheer us up. Who decides what kids learn today? In most countries, governments and education departments set curriculums. They're influenced by politics, economic needs, so STEM jobs, cultural values, lobby groups, yes, even textbook companies. So the math your kid is doing at 8 years old, that was probably decided in a boardroom of mostly men wearing lanyards. That's a little ChatGPT humor. But what's the actual point of school? So let's strip it all back. What should kids be learning? Okay, so what we often teach. Nobody cares about this.
I was going to say, do we have something fun and exciting?
No. What we have is fun and exciting is that Billy's annoyed that everything is wrong. And so what do your kids do need is emotional intelligence, curiosity, creativity, and to remember to press the fucking button.
the record button when you're using a recording device. Look, you hit this record button.
So I did.
We have the audio.
The actual audio.
It's fine.
We do have that.
You can just put up a picture of our beautiful selves.
Well, that's just what's gonna have to happen. And we have a few minutes of this at the end where we're
magic.
Yeah. So that's that. Go teach your kids, or don't. Honestly, who cares? You could be in the bush. You could be in a school. Just like raise what you said, like emotionally intelligent, kind, good people.
Do you know what? When I've got 3 kids in case you didn't know. Whenever I go to the parent-teacher interview, the teacher will say, is there anything you want to raise or bring up or talk about, blah, blah, blah. Have any questions? I always say, I actually don't care if they're excelling academically.
Yep.
I want to know that they're using their manners.
Yes.
And that they're respectful.
Yes.
That is, and some teachers will look at me like, oh, okay. And others will be like, great.
Yep.
Yes. So it's like a fine balance. I'm not pushing my children to be straight A students.
Yeah.
With saying that, knock on wood, my husband and I
You're
are very
track.
lucky. We're on track. All 3 of our kids. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
All 3 of our kids just sit down and do their homework.
Yeah.
They don't need help. They do need help occasionally with questions, but they're capable of doing what they're learning currently. Mm-hmm. Bane's about to go in high school next year, so that
it's a next level,
change.
isn't it? And even for parents, like it's such a next level thing to have, like to get them through that and to
absolutely
set them up for that success. And for sure, man, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just not to go down the rabbit hole because we're going to finish up, but I'm also against the whole like my kid goes to private school over here, so like they're smarter than your kid.
Yeah. Oh, that's stupid.
I think that pressure, if we're going to talk about pressure very quickly, going to a child from its parents because it's going to like fucking churchy. Your kid is still a fucking asshole. Your kid can still be a dickhead of a person, okay?
Yes.
And they still can fail at a very like high-end private school.
Yeah,
that does
totally.
not mean that just because somebody's going to churchy doesn't mean that they're going to be a better person or more importantly, a smarter person. Because you know what, quite frankly, there's some kids that will graduate a state high school and will flourish academically in their career. Yep. So I just want to put it, I hate that. I'm so against that mentality here.
I couldn't agree more. And I also think like what you were saying before about sitting down at parent-teacher interviews and just being like, is my kid being kind? Like, are they being nice? Like, are they a good human? Because I think that at the end of the day, like, you can be, like you said, in private school, getting all the A's, getting 100% in everything and still be a dickhead. And that's not the kind of people I want to raise.
I don't want those people in the world. I don't want a smart fucking rapist. Not saying that people that go to, like, calm down everyone, not saying that you're a rapist if you go to a private school. But I'm just saying. That's right. Like you can be doing all the right things school-wise, but still be a fucking asshole. Yeah. So like teach your kids better. Just teach them to be kind humans. That's really it. Nice humans, and just do what you can do with your schooling. And each kid is different. Like what we were talking off camera. Each kid is different.
Yeah.
Each kid is going to go through the school system that they're in a completely different way. Yeah. And us as parents need to just be there to support them however we can.
Totally.
And don't put the fucking pressure on them because that is just going to backfire.
Yeah, 100%.
Massively.
Couldn't agree more.
It's like when you don't hit the record button, it just all backfires.
Stop it, I can't. I'm going to literally like go home today and I don't know, I don't even know what, hide under the blankets because I've had
a day,
a week, a life.
It's only Wednesday.
Okay. Good day. Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Wine Chats podcast with Billi and Lyndsey. You can find us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can listen to us on any favorite podcasting app or watch on YouTube.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, review, comment, send us some love. We absolutely love it.
Chat soon. Come on, Lenny. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat putting this in.
Come on.
Okay, we'll add in chat soon at the end. Both of us?
Yeah, go
on.
Chat
Chat soon.